I suppose when I said I thought of everything, these are two things I did not think of. Welcome to episode 9 of the 2026 Solo Relay. In this collaborative project, 10 different tabletop creators are teaming up to tell one continuous story about an elderly elven druid named Jet Zinland. Each creator takes a turn running the character using whatever TTRPG system and mechanics they prefer, and you can play a full episode before passing the baton to the next person. And so since I am the penultimate episode, the last one is coming after me, so let's see what we hand over to them. But let's do a quick recap of our story so far. Jet has been trying to recover a series of cursed magical artifacts stolen from the Molten Talon Museum, only to discover that the faction's catfolk leader Shabra is actually the villain. In episode 8, Sacred Art of Gaming used the Easy D6 system, and it helped him to lead Jet through a harrowing battle against a curse in his own mind. And with the help of the artificer Sunder, Jet discovered a secret underground passage hidden beneath a memorial stone for Kurtep the Maligned. And so, descending into the depths, Jet found himself in the ancient tomb of the warlord king Bargo the Soul Forged. And sneaking into the throne room as a mouse, he discovered Shabra torturing his ally, Talia. Shabra demanded to know the identity of the last living descendant of the ancient rogue who first wielded the stone protector amulet. With purple magic pouring from her, Talia confessed that it was her. Shabra suddenly spotted Jet hiding in the shadows, and Talia broke free from her restraints. And that brings us to right now. I'll be using the Ironsworn system to resolve this massive cliffhanger. It is a gritty narrative-first game. So to translate Jet into Ironsworn, I'm bringing 4 specific assets to the table to reflect his history and gear. First is my custom shapeshifter path. This gives me immediate mechanical edge when taking it on animal forms, like the mouse I currently am, to hide, flee, or bypass obstacles. Next is the Wild Blood path, a nod to Jet's time as a shepherd. And then for combat, I've equipped the long arm talent to properly wield Jet's signature weapon, his magical green ivy staff. And then finally, because Jet is risking it all down here to save his friend, I'm taking the loyalist path, which grants bonuses when I stand and support my allies. Now, looking at the situation in Bargo the Soul Forged tomb, I have a choice to make. Shabra is a formidable enemy for sure, with volatile dark magic, and Jet is an elderly elf whose primary concern right now is Talia's safety. So instead of a fight to the death, let's see how the dice go. You know, I'll fight if I have to, but we're thinking about Talia. My main goal is to grab her, dodge Shabra's magic, and get the heck out of this tomb. So to handle this mechanically, let's set up an Ironsworn scene challenge. This is like an optional approach used to resolve an extended challenge against an obstacle or an NPC. So this is like the perfect tool for right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a 10-box progress track for the escape, and we're gonna set its difficulty to dangerous. So that means I will mark 2 full boxes for every successful move I make. So let's do that. I'll also draw a smaller 4-box countdown track, so every time I roll a weak hit or a miss as I try to escape, I'll mark down that countdown box to represent Shabra closing in or her magic striking out, all that good stuff. Okay, so last thing that happened was Shabra noticed us, and so we see this volatile purple magic from Talia's confession. It fades into this low crackling hum, and it casts these long shadows across the stone carvings of the warlord's tomb. And Shabra, the catfolk leader of the Molten Talon, she steps back, and her eye pierces the darkness and locks directly onto our tiny mouse form hiding in the shadows. And so what I'm gonna do now is secure an advantage. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. So she said, I suppose when I thought of everything, these are 2 things I did not think of. And then behind her, Talia wrenches free from her restraints, and she says, Talia bursts forth, make that 3. So the tension, it shatters. Shabra's raising her claws, dark magic swirling around them. And what does Jet do? We are going to secure an advantage by, we're in mouse form currently. Can I squeak out a follow me? Talia knows. I'm gonna rush over to Talia. Or maybe I should just transform. She already caught me. I could come out of mouse form. So let's do that. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm scampering out of the shadows as a mouse. I'm reaching Talia's side before suddenly shifting back into my stocky elven form. I'm gonna grab Talia's arm. Follow me! No! And I pull her towards the escape route. So I'm gonna do the secure an advantage move. I'm using speed, surprise, trying to gain leverage against Shabra. So I'm gonna roll my action die and let's do secure an advantage. So I'm gonna open up, here's the move. When you assess the situation, make preparations or attempt to gain leverage, envision your action and roll. So we envision the action already. We're going to use, and we're trying to be fast, right? So it's edge for sure. So we're gonna roll plus edge. First roll, let's go. Oh, okay. It's a weak hit. On a weak hit, your advantage is short-lived. Take +1 momentum. Okay, so it is short-lived. So I added a +1 momentum. So for our escape track, because our action was a success, I'm gonna set this, setting the scene challenge to dangerous already. This is we're calling it the daring escape. So I'm gonna mark progress. So if we see the progress track here on the character sheet, marked 2 here, but it was a weak hit. So because it was weak hit, Shabra is closing in. I have to mark 1 box on the countdown. I don't want to fight her. Okay, here we go. So we drop our tiny mass form, rapidly shifting back into our elven body. Talia, she's startled, she flinches, but I grab her arm and follow me as I pull her towards the dark stairs leading up to the graveyard. We have secured our advantage and we're making a break for it, but the advantage is short-lived. Shabra's single eye locks onto me and she reacts with terrifying speed. And she says, "I don't think so." And she hisses and she thrusts her claws forward and that purple magic starts crackling around the room and it strikes the ancient stone pillars just ahead of our path and it sends like heavy chunks of debris and dark energy starts crashing down between us and the exit. So me and Talia are now cut off from a clean escape and the falling debris is an immediate physical threat. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to keep our escape going. We're going to mark more progress for it. We're going to face danger. So I could roll plus edge to try to kind of nimbly dodge the falling stone, or roll plus wits. I can try to, read the collapsing environment, pull Talia with me into a safe pocket before continuing to sprint. So let's do face danger. So when you attempt something risky or react to an imminent threat, envision your action and roll. So let's see. Ooh, we gotta be fast. I could try edge or wits. This is a little min-maxy, you guys, a little meta. But let me look at it again, which one's higher? Wits is higher. He's smart. Let's go with wits, you guys. This is solo play. You can do whatever you want. But yeah, so I'm gonna read, what I'm doing is, as Jet, I'm reading the environment. The environment is collapsing. So I grab Talia, pull her into a safe pocket, and I'm trying to read, where is the safest place to go from here. So let's go back to the move, so face danger, and we're gonna roll with that, and we're gonna roll with wits. Let's see, do any of my assets help me out? I got Loyalist, Shapeshifter, Wild Blood, and Long Arm. Am I aiding my ally? I would say Loyalist comes in here. I am aiding, she is my ally, and I'm trying to help her. So you add +1 and take +1 momentum on a hit. So this is in addition to the benefits taken by your ally. So let's see, like Shapeshifter kind of works. I did Shapeshift technically. I have Wild Blood. When you face danger, secure an advantage or gather information using your knowledge of tracking, woodcraft, or woodland creatures at +1. Using your knowledge of tracking, listen, I can, narratively, I can find reasons for like all of these except for Long Arm. But let's see. So I'm gonna go with Wild Blood actually, and I'm gonna add that +1 here because I am using my wits to try and find a safe path around all of this. And yeah, so I'm gonna use wits. So let's roll. Let's go. Oh, yes, that is a strong hit. I am successful and I take +1 momentum. So now my momentum is at 4 and I can mark progress. So narratively, what that looks like, I tap into my wild blood instincts. I read the collapsing stone architecture with the same practice eye I would use to dodge a falling oak in the deep wilds. I yank Talia backward by her tunic and I pulling her into a perfectly angled, like safe pocket, just as a massive chunk of ancient ceiling starts to obliterate the floor where we both stood a second prior, and the dust billows out in a thick clod, and it's obscuring Shabra's single eye. I believe she has one eye and a patch on the other. And so we hit the base of the stone stairs leading up and out of Bargo's tomb. And my boots slipping slightly on the stone as we're beginning our ascent. But Shabra's contingencies are still here. And so we take the first few steps and we can hear metal echoes, the sound of porcelain from the darkness just ahead of us, and it sounds like a broken automaton, the very same one Sunderd hacked earlier. Shabra seemingly brought with her into this tomb. It steps out of the shadows, its glowing eyes lock onto us, and it has a heavy axe arm as it raises. It's completely blocking the narrow stairwell. And then below us, we can hear Shabra's voice. Don't let them reach the surface. You can hear her from below. Okay, so we have, we kind of still have the initiative from the strong hit, meaning I'm going to dictate how we deal with this metallic monstrosity. So, I have my assets. I have a long arm, so I can use the staff to parry its axe arm, or I can secure an advantage to trip it. Actually, that might be fun. Or I can use shapeshifter, shift into a massive wolf and just barrel through its legs, throwing it off balance, maybe. Let's go with shapeshifter. I think that is fun. And we're going to shapeshift into a wolf, and we're simply going to barrel through its legs, and hopefully it throws it off balance so me and Talia can squeeze past. Okay, I'm going to grab Talia. I'm going to tell Talia before I shift, stay low and stay on me. And I'm going to shapeshift and shapeshifter. So when you face danger by shapeshifting into a mundane animal, to hide, flee, or bypass an obstacle, you can add a +1 and take +1 momentum on a hit. So we're going to add a +1 as we are facing danger here. And then we're going to add that +1 there. And we are moving with edge, I believe, since we're moving with speed, agility, or precision trying to get around here. Okay, here we go. Rolling. Let's go. Strong hit. Yes. Let's go. Okay, strong hit. Take +1 momentum. Yes, nice. Okay, my momentum is now at a 5. Okay, cool. So that was a success. I believe I can mark progress as well, so I will do that now. So marking the progress is always fun. And so if we're going to narratively show what that looked like, I said stay low and stay on me as I bark at Talia. No, I don't bark at her. But in the next heartbeat, instantly transform. You see bone and muscle start to shift seamlessly as I type into that primal druidic magic, and I erupt into the hulking shape of a wolf. Okay, and the automaton swings its heavy axe arm down, but my sudden burst of speed catches it off guard, and I barrel low and slamming my shoulders directly into its legs, and you hear this loud, satisfying at the machine's knees as it buckles backwards, and it starts to flail wildly, its axe like smashing against the wall. And I've thrown this heavy monstrosity entirely off balance, and I leave a gap, and Talia doesn't hesitate. She stays low just as I told her. She slips right past the staggering automaton, and she has one hand firmly anchored in my thick fur, I'll say. So she's letting me guide her as both of us start to surge up the stairs. And The air starts to grow slightly cooler as we near the surface, but the heavy footfalls of Shabra rushing to the base of the stairs, we can still hear them from the tomb below. So we are over halfway out of the tomb, and so strong hit, we are still firmly in control of this scene. So let's see. We can secure another advantage. I want to do at least 2 more progress boxes before getting out of here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna try to collapse the tunnel or some way, or block the entrance, because I think they're still coming after us. So we're still not quite there. Behind us, I hear the sound of grinding gears, cracking porcelain echoes off the stone walls, and the automaton violently rights itself. And from the depths of the tomb, you could hear Shabra's furious voice carries up the stairwell. "Stand up, you fool! After them!" And you can hear the thud of the machine's footfalls resumes. And it's vibrating through the stairs, just on our heels. So ahead, we can see like the faint moonlight glow spilling in from the secret entrance. And as we near the surface, I'm gonna say we notice some rotting wooden beams that are supporting the earth and the stone of the escape tunnel. And so we need to bring that ceiling down. But I think timing is everything. So my wolf is massive. I could, rely on brute force to ram the beams. I can roll plus iron, or I can use my long arm asset as we burst forth, right? I can use, let my shapeshifter magic fade, return to my elven form. I'm gonna spin around. I'm gonna use the long reach and leverage of this ivy staff to precisely smash these wooden beams or trip them up. And I want to bring the tunnel down on the automaton just as we step out into the graveyard air. And so we are going to do that. So I think that's going to trigger face danger, and we're using speed and precision, and we're using our staff. So we're going to roll plus edge. Okay, so we definitely are going to do that. So let's see, this is another face danger, and we're using edge, and I believe our staff, our long arm, is going to help us here. So we're going to get a +1 for the long arm, and roll with edge. Let's go. Whoa! Oh my god! That is a strong hit with a match. Oh! Oh my god, did you guys see that? That was all 6s across the board. Oh my gosh, I love when that happens. Oh, yes. Okay, so, no, yes, definitely marking progress there, but also you're gonna mark momentum. Wow. Oh my gosh. Momentum is now at a 6. And, oh, this is just great. So, strong hit with the match, because they're very rare to get. I mean, for me, when I played Starforge game, I think I at least got 2 or 3. They're so fun. Okay, so we marked progress. This is very cool. So we are at a very good 8 out of 10. And because of the match, what can we say? This is like an extreme result, right? So it's not just a regular strong hit. We drop the dire. Is it a dire wolf? I don't know. It's a wolf. But we go back into our body. We're spinning on our heel. We thrust the ivy staff forward, and we use our long arm. The staff slams into the rotting wood supports, and they splinter and snap with a deafening crack. Like tons of earth, stone, ancient debris, they come crashing down in a blinding cloud of dust. And it completely buries the automaton just as its axe starts to swing out. So you could see its arm coming out of the entrance of this underground entrance, and it crushes, and you can see its arm get crushed underneath. And from the other side of the collapse, you hear Shabra's furious scream. It's entirely muffled by tons of rubble, and the tunnel is permanently, well, for now, sealed. And the ground starts to cave in. Okay, there are violent vibrations. They dislodge the heavy base of his name is Kurtep the Maligns, right? His memorial stone just outside the tunnel entrance. It slides aside, and it reveals a small untouched hidden compartment, and it's bathed in the pale moonlight. So we are safely out in the graveyard air, and our escape track is at 8 out of 10. So you don't have to fill all 10 boxes. We can choose to resolve the scene whenever we feel we've had enough progress. So with an 8, our odds of victory are pretty good. So we're going to make our final progress roll right now to officially end the escape and see if we get away clean. So to do this, we won't use any stat or action dice. So we're going to simply roll 2 challenge die and compare them directly against our 8 filled progress boxes. So we're going to roll 2d10 and then go from there. So mark a progress roll with 8 progress. Here we go. 6 and a 5. Oh my God, you guys, that is a strong hit. That is a strong hit. Oh my gosh. You guys, if you have been watching my channel or just know me from my Looking for Mom channel, which is the, if you just know how I roll in general, the dice gods absolutely love me. You guys, you just got to put it out to the universe. They'll listen to you eventually. That is another strong hit. Did I get any weak hits? Oh, you guys, I'm just going to scroll. I'm looking on my screen on the VTT. I'm looking at the chat where it logs everything. Strong hit with the match, strong hit. Okay, we got 1 weak hit. That was it. 1 weak hit and 4 strong hits. Oh, I love it. Okay, so we are out of there. We have successfully escaped Shabra. The automaton is buried and there are no lingering costs. Okay, because I am rolling quite well, and so this is great for me. So we head out and we still hear like the violent rumble of the collapsing tunnel slowly fades, leaving only the sound of shifting dirt. There's a slight rain outside and the cool night wind is blowing through the graveyard. And Talia, and remember, she runs Dano's books and scrolls. She leans heavily against a nearby headstone. The purple magic is finally fading from her fingertips. She lets out a long, shaky breath. She slides down until she's sitting on the grass and then looks up at us. Not bad for a former shepherd. I thought Shabra had us for sure down there. Thank you, Jet. And she pauses, she catches her breath. She's catching her breath now. And we saw that. Right, we saw the heavy base had knocked a heavy base askew, right? So it reveals this perfectly square hidden compartment beneath the stone as we were outside. And then Talia picks herself up. She says, "Well, would you look at that? Kurtep was hiding something. What do you think's in there?" Now, Jet has a crippling fear of the dark, so I don't know if he wants to go in there. So he's gonna reach his hand in. Well, should he reach his hand in? He's scared. However, we do have like a bottle filled with smoke and light. I think that's in his inventory. It's interesting. So I think we can use that. We're gonna use the bottle to illuminate the compartment, and we're going to gather information. Okay, we are trying to, move carefully and to investigate what is inside. So let's gather information. So when you're searching an area, ask questions or conduct an investigation or follow a track, roll plus wits. So let's do it. I don't think any of the assets are going to come into play here. So we're just rolling plus wits. So let's go. Yeah, that was a weak hit. On a weak hit, the information complicates your quest or introduces a new danger. Envision what you discover. I can ask the Oracle for unsure, and we do take +1 momentum. So let's do that. Momentum is now at a 7, so it is a weak hit. Okay, so let's ask the Oracle. We are unsure, so let's ask the Oracle. Let's do action and theme, maybe? There's turning point oracles, major plot twist. Ooh, there's place oracle. Let's do a major plot twist. I'm leaving it off to Lore by Night, who's taking it last. So whatever I do here, I leave to him. So you're welcome. Let's do a major plot. The enemy gains new allies. Ooh, the enemy gains new allies. Okay, so how does this relate to what we find inside this casket? And so we have our bottle, our small bottle, we unstopper it. it's filled with light and smoke, and it helps illuminate this pitch black compartment, and it pushes back the shadows and the darkness that Jet hates so much. And so what do we see inside? There are no magical artifacts or ancient gold, anything like that. There is a heavy iron lockbox, actually, and we open it up and we see that it is filled with very neatly stacked recent correspondence. And then I opened it up, I look over at Talia, and she reaches in and she grabs one of them. She breaks the wax seal on one of the scrolls, and as she reads it, you could see the color drains from her face. She says, Jet, these are missives between Shabra and the esoteric hermits, the dark magic faction that lives in the sewers. We thought they were just isolated outcasts, but Shabra hasn't just been stealing artifacts. She's been supplying the hermits with them to buy their loyalty. She has an entire army of dark magic users at her disposal. She's looking at it, and so that is what we see because we rolled that weak hit. So it does introduce this now danger, and as she speaks, the wind starts to shift, and Shabra didn't just come alone with the automaton. She has her new allies start to secure the perimeter. Cloaked figures wearing masks of the esoteric hermits are silently fanning out among the headstones. They're cutting off our path to the city streets, and they are searching for whoever just collapsed the tunnel. And that is where we're going to end our play session. Good luck, Lore, and I'm excited to see what you come up with this and what happens next. And our little solo relay of 2026 is coming to a head. This has been really a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see what Lore by Night does in his video next. And this is Maya. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening if you did, and I'll see you guys in the next one.